This is going to be something that you probably never heard before. It's called the 5 leadership laws of a billionaire. Now, I spent about 15, 20 years in a 10-figure atmosphere of thinking, conversations, ideas. And during that time, what I learned about leadership really was amazing. It really shocked me, I guess, in some respects, because it was so different. We all understand about the leadership. I mean, I've done more resources on leadership than I can count practically, as far as articles, blog posts, CDs, training manuals, all that other stuff. But I wanted to do this because I wanted to give you an idea of how leadership is seen through the lens of a 10-figure entrepreneur. I had a mentor one time that tell me, we were discussing leadership, and he says, billionaires see leadership totally different than what you might think. And it kind of intrigued me, because I said, well, how? And he says, well, let me give you a few things. And I took notes, obviously, because I had journals with me. I always took notes on what they said or anybody else said that would help me learn. And the first thing he said was, I want to give you 5 things that I believe, and this is how he operated. He says, I want to give you 5 things that make the difference between even millionaire leadership and billionaire leadership. These are the things that billionaires see as far as what leadership can be, what it is, and how it works. The first one is called the law of decisive self-image. The law of decisive self-image. This is a leadership self-image based on decision that this is who you're going to become. Billionaires don't try to lead. They don't try anything. They engage until it works, and then they engage until it dominates. Did you get that? They engage until it works, and then they engage until it dominates. That's how billionaires think. And they don't try anything. They don't try leadership. What they do is they say, I'm going to lead, we're going to go this place, and this is how we're going to get there. They decide what kind of leader they're going to be and who they are before the world ever has a chance to hear from them. Did you get that? Most billionaires, if not all, their leadership is based on how they see themselves, not the principles and the truths and the concepts that are being taught out there. They have their own truths, they have their own concept, they have their own principles on leadership, and that's how it works. He told me, he said, you got to understand, a lot of leaders are trying to get validated, their leadership approved of, their leadership followed, their leadership connected. He says, billionaires don't worry about that, because we know where we're going, we know who's going to go with us, and it's our job to help get them there, as well as the company. When your self-image is fixed, and what I mean by that is, and locked in as a leader, you are a powerful leader. You're going to lead people to a place they've never been before, and then from there, you're going to go to the next level. That is billionaire leadership. Their leadership is based on how they see themselves. Their leadership is based on how that they feel about themselves. And this is one of the reasons why that in the 5 leadership laws of a billionaire, the law of decisive self-image, it is the self-image and how they've decided who they are, where they're going, who's going with them, how they're going to get there. This is what you need to do. You need to take a look at what is your self-image going to be. What is the self-image of a perfect leader to you? Then you take it up about 10 levels, because there's so much more to do in a leadership based on these billionaire principles and billionaire truths than you could ever imagine. Decide that you're going to be a leader. Decide that you're going to be one of the best leaders in your company or in your industry, and then make the decision to build it from that standpoint on. That is a law of leadership. Number 2, oh man, I remember we talked about this. It's called the law of strategic solitude. The law of strategic solitude. See, the higher that you build, the higher that you ascend, the more that you get known, the more visible you are, the quieter your circle must become. Did you get that? When you ascend to a place, and let's just say from a traditional leadership standpoint, and you ascend to becoming one of the best leaders in your region, state, company, whatever, your circle must become quieter. And the reason why is because there's going to be a lot of noise around you. There's going to be kudos, people wanting your attention. There's going to be people that are trying to connect with you. You can't let that noise distract you. A crystal clear mind, you got to understand this. A crystal clear mind is a luxury only earned by those willing to step away from the crowd, willing to step away from all the kudos, the accolades, and everything else, and focus on where you're going and how you're going to get there. See, this is why the billionaires have a very tight inner circle, and in leadership, they have a very, very quiet inner circle, because that is where image in your mind is brought forth as far as leading, and then from there, you lead to build whatever it is that you see in your mind. You need that time alone. You need that time almost in isolation to be able to hear yourself come up and let your imagination do the talking and nobody else do the talking. That is why strategic solitude is so important, according to my mentor. He said, if you give your imagination a chance, it will be amazing what it comes up with if you just let it do its thing in solitude. Number 3 is the law of uncompromising levels. What does that mean? You have certain levels that you expect. You have certain levels of action, certain levels of results, certain levels of things that must happen. And it's uncompromising. You cannot compromise ever on your levels, on your standards, or anything else. And the reason why is because the billionaire's life is built on the standards they refuse to lower. That's the problem. Most leaders, sometimes, if not most of the time, will alter their levels and will alter what they expect because it's just not happening. So we're going to pull back a little bit, and then we'll just take it from there. No, there's no pulling back. It's straightforward and let's go. Your standards and your levels, if you will, are the ceiling of where you're going. And this is why you need to raise them, because you have no limits. There are no limitations. And this is why that the law of uncompromising levels must be there. You must have the next level in sight. And once you hit that next level, the billionaire goes up to the next level. Most of the time, most leaders' vision is based on one level. You can't do that. Billionaires' vision is based on multitudes of levels as they ascend up the ladder. Number 4, the law of the long form horizon thinking. What is that? Well, most people, when they're leading, a lot of leaders anyway, they look at their feet. Let's see where we're going. But the billionaire looks beyond the horizon. Did you get that? That's why it's called long form horizon thinking, because it's beyond the horizon. Most people say, well, my destiny and my vision is over there. Okay, great. But the billionaire says, well, what comes after the horizon? Most leaders don't think this way. While everyone else thinks in days, weeks, maybe months, billionaires thinks in decades. Did you get that? While most billionaires think in decades, everybody else is thinking in weeks, thinking in minutes, thinking in hours, thinking in months. Time bends and it redoes itself for the person who refuses to rush to greatness. And this is one of the reasons why that when everybody else is thinking to get this done, get this vision accomplished and everything else, the billionaire is looking beyond the horizon saying, what comes after that? And let's focus there. So you can either be looking at your feet, looking at the horizon, or as a billionaire would, what comes after the horizon? That's where they focus. That's why that they build what they build in life. So the 5 leadership laws, number 1 is the law of decisive image. Number 2 is the law of strategic solitude. Number 3 is the law of uncompromising levels. Number 4, the law of long horizon thinking. And number 5 is the law of emotional strength. The law of emotional strength. Wealth follows the person who can stay calm when everyone else quits, walks away, says this isn't going to work, you're insane, you're crazy, and they leave. Wealth follows the person who stays calm, cool, collected during that time, and understands if they leave, it's going to cost them. If they leave, it's really, really a big mistake. Emotional strength is the real currency of leadership. A lot of people become emotionally overwhelmed when they get in a leadership position. Billionaires don't, because they understand where they're going. They understand how they're going to get there. They understand what it's going to be like when they're there, and they understand what comes next. Most leaders don't even think that way. This is one of the reasons why you don't become a billionaire by chasing money. You become a billionaire by making decisions based on who you want to become, who you are, who you're going to be in next year, and who you're going to be next decade. And that leadership is based on that self-image that you continually build in a way that only billionaires build. These are the 5 leadership laws of a billionaire. I would suggest you take one at a time and start mastering it in your leadership. These are very advanced, different types of laws of leadership for sure. But at the same point, they're focused on moving you up even to the next level of where you want to go. And you get there, then the next level is awaiting as well. Do not forget that. There's always a next level. Guys, we're doing something special here. Man, I'm telling you what, on this channel, we're giving you ideas and concepts and strategies and tactics that you're not going to find anywhere else. This place right here is where you need to be. This place, watch every video, will change you. When you look in the mirror in 90 days, you won't even recognize yourself. If you're looking to do something extraordinary, this is the place, because we want to not only help you build that, help you go there, help you reach that, but what we want to do is we want to make sure you do reach the land of extraordinary. Like, follow, share, subscribe, save this video. You're going to need it. Spread the fire.